everywhere I go, it's just freezing. It's freezing. It's cold. I'm cold internally. Everything. It's so cold. But you know what I do know is so warm and awesome and majestic and beautiful? Gym and chest day. Hello there. And you will be joining me on this very amazing chest and tricep day. Alright? You're going to follow along and you're going to enjoy it, alright? We're going to be going through multiple things, right? We're going to be going through pressings, flies, not, your airplane typical, whatever, flight. No, we're going on some of these guys. Squeezing the chest muscles very well. And then, we're going to do some tricep stuff, maybe some push downs. Now, what I want you guys to know is this is the last lift of 2025. Imagine that. This is my final lift before 2025 is over in 2026. Now, I don't want you guys to just make these goals that you have in mind. I want you to make goals for 2026. You want to have a bigger business, all that crap, right? But one thing I want you to make for sure is that you will just be a better person overall. And that can be in any form to you guys. But I want you to make it clear that you are going to be a better person by the end of next year. And when you are that better person, you will keep achieving those things. No doubt in my mind, I believe in you that you could do that. I think that anybody is capable of doing anything they truly want to do. That might be a little unlogical of me, right? To think that anybody could do anything, but I truly believe it. I think that anybody is capable and has unlimited potential. I'd say if you want to get a cheat meal in and you want to make sure your next year is full of no cheat meals and everything, get your last cheat meal in today, buddy. Because this next upcoming year is your year, man. I'm telling you. There's no time to waste anymore. There's no time to sit in your bed and doom scroll on TikTok for 4 hours and become easily manipulative because everything in the algorithm is chosen for you. And they know what you want. You are going to be able to become your own person finally instead of not being your own person anymore. You're going to finally do the things you want to do. You want to climb that mountain. You're going to climb it this year. 2026, all right? It's not about the past anymore, man. It's not about worrying about the future or anything. It's about the present, the current moment, right now. It's not about anything else. It never was. The only thing that truly matters is the current moment. Because think about this. You die. You think when you die, you're going to be thinking about your past or your future. No, you're going to be thinking, what is this? Where am I? You just died, dog. It's not some simple equation. It's complex in its own way, but truly it is so simple. We just need to know in the back of our heads that it is just about the current situation and moment of time, and you need to analyze that. I was just in bed, right? I could have maybe done a couple things, but I couldn't have done too much. Because I was like, I have to get my carbs and everything for the gym, and I eat my carbs, drink my energy drink and all that. But I was like, I maybe could have got some laundry done. I was analyzing at least, right? In that current situation when I was on doom scrolling, I was listening about, Israel and the Epstein and all that. I was really just sitting down there in the current moment and thinking, what could I be doing right now? That's what I want you to do at least. If you're in the middle of doing something and you're kind of just wasting your time a little bit, you could be doing some other better things, right? At least part of me, I was getting stuff for the gym done. I was eating my carbs, but there was still more I could have got done, right? But I can get those done after the gym. I know that. But for you, what is something that you do every day that you know isn't the best for you? For me, it's doom scrolling, which I think a lot of people do nowadays. Unfortunately, it kind of became a thing, more in 2024, but it really got, spiraled in 2025. But what is something for you that you truly, know that in the back of your head you could be doing something more, worth your time? And I at least want you to analyze, that gym's closed. Okay, I'm gonna go to Planet Fitness. I was thinking I was gonna go to the Y today, but I tried calling them earlier. No one picked up from the front desk, so we're going to Planet Fitness because I know they're open until like 10. It's only 3, so I got time. But I want you to think in the back of your head when you're doing something that isn't the most efficient for your time, what is something else that you could be doing? Would it be maybe doing that laundry you have in your floor? Would it be, whatever, right? Let's say you have, I'm trying to think of I don't know. But let's just say you're in the moment of doing something like I said, doom scrolling for me, and you're just like, you kind of snap out of it. You're like, because almost when you're in that mindset of doing stuff, you don't really realize you're doing it entirely until you look at the time and an hour and a half has passed by and you're like, what have I been doing? And the thing is, your brain kind of hurts and you haven't retained any of the knowledge that you just watched. Unless it's something very specific that's relatable to you, you probably didn't learn any information in that hour and a half. That's the worst thing about the TikTok stuff and all that crap is, it hurts our attention spans. It hurts our dopamine levels. It hurts us, I think, entirely. Just, causes depression and all that. But, you don't learn anything from these things. And then, you do learn. It's a lesson, right? You learn that you're wasting your time and you could do so much more with that time. You could have been writing a whole essay about yourself just then of what you like to do. You could have done that laundry that I was talking about. You could have done so much more, but you've decided to just sit there and waste your time. What I want to do for myself in 2026 is I want to become a sponge of knowledge. And this is personal goals. This is not like personal external things. Like I want to win my bodybuilding show. Like what I mean by personal goal externally, I think is the word, internally, sorry. Externally is what I said before about the not materialistic, but it's more on the outside, I've won a bodybuilding show. Internally, I want to become a sponge of knowledge. Everything that I want to learn in my life, I will learn. And that starts with this. Picking up a book and reading it. And I was good for that for a while. And recently, the past couple weeks, I've done research, just 15 to 30 minutes a night, just about a topic. And then I'll research, about that topic, and I'll keep researching. And what I want to use with that knowledge is simply to be able to give it out to you guys. Not in all extents, right? If I want to learn something, which, I've been researching more about the conscious mind. I learn about my patterns and my decisions, just about my dreams if I have them, when I'm sleeping or whatnot, but stuff like physical stuff, when I become a personal trainer, instead of having the simple gym bro, here's a stretch, here's a squeeze, I want to be able to tell you all about the protein synthesis and all about glycogen and all this stuff, right? I want to be able to spread my knowledge and spread that because I've always been a person who loves to teach people. I'm not like a 4th grade history teacher kind of way, but like a dad to a son type of deal. I don't want to be that boring history teacher's okay, flip to page 4 on your novels today, and we're going to be learning about the Pilgrims and the Indians, or, whatever, not like that. I want to be able to tell you straightforward of certain things that you have questions on, too. Not just some, ordinary, whatever type of crap, So, that's my goal internally. Just be able to learn as much as I can about this life. Externally, I have other goals. Obviously, I want to win my bodybuilding show. I don't know if I'm gonna do it this year or this upcoming year. I'm already saying this year, but it's not this year. This next upcoming year. But I want to be able to maybe potentially win that if I'm doing it, right? If I am doing it, I want to win it. I want to be able to obviously make more money. I want to be able to grow my social medias, have more of a following, so I can spread my messages too. You know, I don't want to. My goal with this isn't to make a crap load of money. That would be awesome, right? I know that was my second goal, right? To make a bunch more money, but entirely for this whole platforming thing is I just want to be able to spread my knowledge to as much people as I can, right? You know, maybe have some of you guys call me out about it, be like, that doesn't really make as much sense, you know? And then I can learn from that, right? But I just want you guys to learn as much as I can, right? And I do. And more even. I want to, because the thing is about people who learn is they can teach also. And those people who can teach make me learn. So I therefore learn more and I can teach more. Always be open to any type of learning. Any type of learning. You know? To the crazy crazies, to the more ordinary ordinaries. You know? Be open to any type of knowledge that you can get your hands on. You know? That's why I think conspiracy theorists are so fun to listen to, because even though I have no idea and knowledge of what they're even talking about, I'm still learning something. And it's exciting to learn something new, I think. And when you truly, like, back when you were in first grade, you learned about, you know, subtraction and multiplication and all that crap, and you started doing those problems, it was fun doing those problems. And then when you started doing the more complicated, you know, A plus B and all that crap, and it got a little more confusing, it was less fun. But I imagine if you were a kid who was able to learn those A plus B problems like nothing, they were actually pretty fun too. And they were more fun than, you know, 1 plus 2, because they were a little more complicated. They may use your brain a little more. But when you actually finally got them solved and you were able to figure it out, and you got an A plus on the test, you're like, wow, that was fun. And I learned so much in that time period. But me, as, you know, a school kid, I never really learned much from it. And it wasn't really that fun. But now that I'm older and I can learn very specific things that I want to learn each and every day that I want to, it's a lot more fun that way, right? And like I said, learning is just fun, man. I know not everything is fun to learn, but in order to learn those fun things, in order to learn those, you know, things you want to spread, you got to also learn the not so fun things, right? And a lot of that's life experience with just life, because a lot of life experiences aren't that fun. School, not that fun, but it teaches you the discipline of just showing up and doing something and getting something done, right? It builds that, you know. I remember back in first grade, I missed it was like almost in the like high double digits of days I missed, you know. But and then I learned, you know, it's not that bad. I'll just show up, get this diploma, and get out, and do the rest of my life, have free roam. But that's a little enough of my life story you guys learned today. But I will see you guys in the gym. Alright, first exercise we're going to be doing is we're going to be working on our mid-pec. And since we can go pretty heavy on this movement right here, it's going to be our first movement of the day for chest. And also it's triceps when you're doing this, because of the grip that we're hitting. I think that grip just allows me to hit more of like a kind of squeeze in my chest. Make sure you're controlled and go around 2 to 3 sets. Now we're going to be working on our triceps now. I just kind of wanted to split it up because, you know, chest and triceps, and then I did a tricep movement, and then you'll see another chest movement, and you'll see a tricep movement in today's video. So, but this just allows us to get a really good squeeze and really good stretch in our triceps. Make sure you're training heavy with these, as I always say on these. And no excuses. Keep your elbows in and do partials at the end. Now we're going to be working on the chest again. Just mainly find a moderately heavy weight that you can get a really good squeeze in. Make sure in your first beginning reps, make sure you're trying to touch your elbows together rather than your hands. And as it gets harder, you can kind of navigate to hand touch, but you'll get more kind of upper chest, kind of front delt when you do that. So just be wary about what you're doing. But train, like I said, moderately heavy. Train around the 4 to 12 rep range, and do 2 to 3 sets of this as well. Now we're going to be working on our triceps once again, but on the meaty outside part to make our arm on the side look bigger. But all we're going to be doing is just keeping the elbows in when you're doing this. Make sure the bar is above your head, not at your head, at your nose. Above your head. That's how you get a better stretch when you do this. And, you know, that's how you'll actually find out how much weight you need to use for this, because the closer it is to your nose, the easier it gets. So just make sure you're getting a really good stretch at the bottom. But train, like I said, moderately, kind of light to moderate, because you don't want to go too heavy for these. You'll get maybe some shoulder or elbow problems when you do that. Howdy. What is going on, y'all? We are done from the gym now. We are DONE. That was officially the last workout of 2025. That's crazy to me. That is absurd. Just thinking that the year is over now. You know, I mean, theoretically, if we didn't have, you know, any type of calendars or time or, you know, whatever not, I mean, that would screw a lot of people over, obviously. We'd figure it out eventually. But we wouldn't think of any, you know, it's a whole new thing, you know. It's like, oh, we're going into the year. We would just be like, another, I don't even know if we consider it a day, but theoretically, in this what we do. Oh, it's another day. We wouldn't have known, right? So theoretically, well, not theoretically, what I'm saying is, don't go into the mindset of, you know, oh, I'm going to be a new me automatically. No, that's not how it works. It takes time and dedication into actually becoming a new person. You know, and even if that's starting small, like for me, what would be small is just getting off my phone. Simply just sitting there with my thoughts instead of, oh, it's already been an hour. No, it's, you know, don't go into the New Year's expecting things just to happen for you either. That's one of the worst things that can happen, because it probably will come back to you. If you want to be leaner this year, you want to get skinnier, work out more, eat less. You can't just be like, oh, it's gonna magically happen. No, you're gonna probably still be doing the same things, and then you're probably just gonna end up fatter, right? Because, you know, it's more time, you age more, and then, you know, as you age, your metabolism slows down and all that. So, you know. But with just everything that's happening right now, the only thing you have to worry about is the present moment and what's currently happening in front of you, right? And I know it's, you know, super crazy right now with, you know, everything that's happening. Don't let it distract you from your goals and your dreams. Truly. The only time I want you to be distracted off whatever's going on in your life is if it's truly happening to you. And that's kind of, you know, selfish of me to say, like, worry about yourself. You can't worry about other people's problems. That's truly what it is at the end of the day. You got to focus on yourself, man. Put yourself and prioritize yourself for once. You might be saying, well, I do that every day. I beat my meat and I eat junk food. No, that's not prioritizing yourself. You're actually self-sabotaging, buddy. Prioritizing yourself is actually focusing on your goals and doing something hard for yourself for once. You would meal prep and have all this food ready on Thanksgiving for other people, but you want to meal prep for yourself on an ordinary day. You would go the mile for somebody else, but you want to go the mile for yourself. I'm sorry, man. You're not going to do anything with that. That life is very, I don't even know how to explain it necessarily, but it's just, please do yourself a favor for once. Don't let life's cruelty just destroy you and make you dull. Be yourself, be a kind-hearted person, and do the right thing for yourself. Now, with that, I will see you guys next year. And I hope you guys have a very blessed night. Stay safe out there if you guys are boozing. Yeah, just have a very cool, y'all. Peace.